All right, what I'd like to talk to you about right now is about the frequency of a sine or cosine function. Now, the frequency is defined as how many periods within one unit. All right? Now, it's kind of hard to wrap our mind around, but basically, the frequency is equal to the reciprocal of the period of our function, okay? So essentially the frequency, let it just be f, is equal to 1 over the period, the reciprocal of our period. And if you remember, our period is calculated by 2 pi over b. 2 pi divided by the absolute value of b. Remember, period, that is 2 pi divided by our b value of our sine or cosine function. So when we're talking about frequency being equal to 1 over the period, and here's the period, it's basically frequency is b over 2 pi. It's the reciprocal, all right? It is the reciprocal of the period. Since the period is 2 pi over b, it must be b over 2 pi. All right, so knowing all of that, here we have some situation where we have musical notes are classified by frequency, and middle C has a frequency of 262 hertz. Use this information. They say some information to the left, but that's just more information on music. All we need to know is the frequency is that many hertz, and the amplitude of our function is going to be 0.2. And knowing this, knowing that we want to write a sine function, we can handle this. All right? So when we're thinking about some sine function, we have our amplitude, which is affecting our a value, and our period is affected by b, the number in front of x. And we didn't hear anything about any phase shifts or vertical shifts or anything like that, so we don't have to worry about any numbers being added or subtracted out here. Well, the amplitude is simply going to be a. Y equals 0.2. I see that as a fifth. So I'm just going to write 1/5 right there. But my b value, I can get that from my frequency. Remember, the frequency 262 is equal to the frequency is the reciprocal of my period, right? And so since our period is calculated by 2 pi over b, the reciprocal of that would be b over 2 pi. The frequency is the reciprocal of the period. We'll put that over 1, do some simple cross multiplying. B equals 2 times 262 is 524 pi. So we plug that into our function. Calculated b, so we can plug that in over here. This would be 524 pi x. The b value is that giant number, 524 pi. But this is the sine function that is modeling the behavior of these musical notes.